Our first story of the day, we've got a bit of wedding drama, a bit of family wedding drama. So, am I the arsehole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding after finding out that it was only our side of the family that were paying to attend? Story time. I have never heard of people having to pay to attend a wedding. So, my younger sister, who we'll call Amy, and her partner Steve are getting married in April in Dubai. She has always wanted an extravagant wedding and is going all out on this day. The wedding is happening over 4 days. There's over 70 guests, but they want us, me, my husband, and parents to stay in the same hotel with them, along with her bridesmaids, which I am the maid of honour and he is the groomsman. The hotel is pretty luxe, so the flight is costing us just over, so with flights, this is costing us just over £2,900 each. Steve's family are also staying in the hotel, which includes his parents, 2 brothers, and his nephew. They are all super well off. I don't exactly know how much they all earn combined, but I know that Amy is on 88k and she's the lowest earner of the family. Whoa, okay. But about 6 months ago, Steve and Amy came to us and asked if they could borrow 17 grand more. They stressed that it would be paid back over time and said the venue had increased the price. Dubai law is very different, blah, 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 blah. They paid this money or they lost a lot. So they either have to pay this increase or they lose the venue, I'm guessing. We believed them and offered to loan them 7k and my parents offered the other 10k. So long story short, I have since found out through someone else that this £17,000 was not for the venue. It was for Steve's family to be able to fly there. They saw how much it was going to be, didn't want to pay and refused to go. I asked Amy and she confirmed. So my first question was that they were paying for his parents. Why are we paying for ours? Yeah. I would never expect them to pay for me, even if I couldn't afford it. I'd have wished them well and stayed at home. And her answer was, because they can afford it. So you're saying that, I'm confused. Oh, I see. So you've paid for Steve's family and you've asked, well, are we paying for yours? And she said, no, my family can afford it. So you're paying for Steve's side of the family. And you're saying, well, why aren't you paying for our side of the family? And your sister said, because you can afford it. Got it. I mean, yeah, if you've got 7 grand lying around, then you're probably doing all right. But still not fair. She got very, very defensive and said that this was the fairest way that they could think to do it. It's a crazy idea. Why don't you just get fucking married where everyone can afford to go, Amy? It's hard enough planning a wedding, etc. But when I asked if you genuinely thought that the fairest way to do it, why did you then lie about asking for £17,000 for what you said was a venue issue? She couldn't answer the question. My parents are aware and are very, very disappointed that they lied, but have said that they will still be attending. But I have decided to back out the wedding. So you're like, my maid of honour, I'm relinquishing that title. To me, it feels like my parents are being taken advantage of, exactly. And if they can't afford to pay for both our and Steve's parents and his brother and nephew, then they shouldn't have just paid for 4 parents, or they should have just paid for the 4 parents and no one at all. And they especially shouldn't have lied to us. Steve and Amy keep calling and asking me to attend, saying I'm making them feel bad and I'm ruining their day, but this whole thing just feels icky to me. I'm genuinely an open book, so be brutal. Am I the arsehole here, or should I just suck it up and go? Okay, well, we do have an update on this one, so let me read that one before we speak on this. So, in short, I didn't end up going to the wedding. Steve and Amy basically harassed me constantly until a few days before they were due to fly out. This is when I received a belligerent voicemail from Amy saying if I didn't go, I was no longer her sister. I was embarrassing myself, her, and Steve. I was a horrible person, and most shockingly, if I didn't go, then her and Steve wouldn't be paying for me or my parents back for the money that we had loaned. So basically trying to blackmail me. She would say it was a gift and that I faked the contract and would have to take her to court. She was clearly extremely drunk at the time. The voicemail was left on the night that she was having her at-home hen do, which I obviously didn't attend. but it was so beyond anything I thought she was capable of. I ended up sharing it with my parents, and they also reluctantly pulled out of attending. I heard through friends and family in attendance of the wedding after her and Steve were telling everyone I had alienated her from her family, told lies to our parents, we gifted money and expected them to pay for us, etc., and then made the decision to uninvite myself and my husband. So she's like, oh yeah, no, we uninvited them. Other more insulting things were said that I don't particularly want to go into. Suffice to say, they were very, very hurtful. As I mentioned in my post, I had my brother-in-law, who is a solicitor, draw up a contract for repayment for both myself and my parents. Yes, love that. We were supposed to be getting our first repayment date passed without word from either of them. So my brother-in-law picked up from there. Oh, so you've been like, payment's not dropped, get the solicitor involved. His attempts to reach out to them were ignored apart from one email from what I think was a fake law firm outlining the money was gifted. The contract was fraudulent and to take them to court, basically. In response to that, my brother-in-law sent a copy of the voicemails Amy left and a final demand outlining the payment plan. And this was now null and void, and we wanted the money back in full within 30 days or we would intend to go to court. Love this. Magically, the full amount appeared in our bank 5 days later. Again, I heard on the grapevine since the wedding that they have been telling everyone who would listen that we had our gift backed out, right out of the blue, and then disowned them, and how much of a difficult financial position they are being left in because of this. So that's it. I can't see myself having a relationship with her after all of this, which is devastating. But at the same time, I truly believe that after all of this, that this is none of my fault. What do you think? The flabber is gassed, right? She just kept digging a hole. And I think at some point she was expecting a gateway to appear where she could get out of this situation, which was just never, ever going to happen, was it? She just kept digging. I'm also confused as to where the 17 grand has magically appeared from. What the fuck? I'm really glad that you have your brother-in-law involved from the solicitor side of things. I think that's really sick. It's a really good thing to brought in. Sometimes you just got to take it legal, you know? But that is absolutely bamboozling. Why would she try and do that? I think they've just wanted to like have this like big shebang and be like, look how much money we've got, when they don't have that much money at all. And when you're planning a wedding, you have to be really sensitive to how much everyone else earns. Like if you're having an abroad wedding, you've got to accept that some people aren't going to go to that because it's really, really expensive. And it's a big thing for someone to do. Like, it's not a holiday, you're going for your wedding, like I said. But yeah, you're not the arsehole at all.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Whoa.